Last week, a federal judge in Washington, D.C. struck down one of Donald Trump's executive orders in quite possibly the most hilarious way we've seen a federal judge strike down one of Donald Trump's executive orders. And we've seen a lot. Like, just the last 4 months alone, we have seen a lot of smackdowns. We've seen some funny ones. We've seen some very serious ones. We've even seen judges use Donald Trump's own words against him to prove that his orders are, of course, illegal. But this one, by District Judge Richard Leon, might be the funniest of them all. Because Leon decided that in order to get his message across to Donald Trump in the 73-page ruling that he wrote, he was going to use Donald Trump's favorite form of punctuation to really drill the message home that this is illegal. And that punctuation, of course, is exclamation points. And the judge used a lot of them. 27 to be exact. Of course, that technically includes a quote from Donald Trump that ended with an exclamation point. So he, the judge, really only used 26. But that is about 26 more than judges will typically put in an official ruling. Now, before I read you some of the judge's ruling, it's important to tell you, of course, what this case was about. This was one of the executive orders that Donald Trump had issued that targeted a law firm, WilmerHale, that Trump didn't like. And the reason he didn't like the WilmerHale law firm is because they hired Robert Mueller. Like, that's it. That's all this law firm did to draw Donald Trump's ire. Hired a man he didn't like, that, by the way, was appointed by his own DOJ to investigate him. But he targeted them, punished them with this executive order, and the judge made it clear that, no, you can't do that! Exclamation point. Let me read you a few snippets from the judge's ruling here. At one point he said, he called Trump's arguments absurd! Exclamation point. He said, "The order shouts through a bullhorn. If you take on causes disfavored by President Trump, you will be punished!" Exclamation point. And then he got to the heart of it. "The cornerstone of the American system of justice is an independent judiciary and an independent bar willing to tackle unpopular cases, however daunting. The founding fathers knew this!" Exclamation point. Accordingly, they took pains to enshrine in the Constitution certain rights that would serve as the foundation for that independence. Little wonder that in the nearly 250 years since the Constitution was adopted, no executive order has been issued challenging these fundamental rights. Now, however, several executive orders have been issued directly challenging these rights and that independence. One of these orders is the subject of this case. For the reasons set forth below, I have concluded that this order must be struck down in its entirety as unconstitutional. Indeed, to rule otherwise would be unfaithful to the judgment and vision of the founding fathers! Exclamation point. Maybe it'll get through to Trump. Maybe it'll just piss him off. We don't know. It has been several days since this ruling came out. Hell, almost a week at this point. And Trump has been kind of mum on it. He's spoken out about other rulings against him. He's gone after the Federalist Society and Leonard Leo in posts on Truth Social, calling them, has-beens, idiots, giving him bad judicial nominations because they're ruling against him now and he's so sad. But maybe the courts can, I don't think they can save us. Maybe they can help us. Maybe they can, prolong a little bit the destruction of the United States. Slow it down a little, if you will. Because we all know that Supreme Court sitting up there as the highest court in the land is not going to consistently rule against Donald Trump. They have already proven that. They proved it again last week. So the courts aren't going to save us. But maybe they can stall the destruction just long enough to where we can get Trump out of office and replaced in 2028 with somebody that actually cares about and understands the Constitution. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.